Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Media Roundtable. My name is Ukash International and I'm the host. Together with my usual panelists from left to right, they'll introduce themselves as usual, and of course we'll kick off with the Media Roundtable. We want to take a look at Kasese's politics, especially the just concluded NRM primaries and what the impact on general elections. My name is Ukash International and I'm the host. These guys will tell us top highlights of the primary elections. Let's first introduce ourselves. Today I start with my left-hand side, Mr. Jerome Cool Beats.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I introduced you very well, so you can give us the formal one.
You've already introduced me. My name is Jerome, so I don't know what I need to say. But for anyone who perhaps has not seen me before, my name is Jerome Kule Betwande. But people like Jole, who love me so much, want to call me Cool Beats. They say that's a record label. I'm a journalist in Kasese, and I'm happy to be here.
But I understand you lost your loved one, and you did tell me about that.
Yeah, I had a brother that succumbed to cancer of the liver. Nonetheless, it is he that gives, that also has the powers to take away.
Accept my sympathy. Let's go to my right, the only lady on the panel. You're welcome.
Right. I'll first congratulate you, Kash, in as far as the political journey is concerned. And then
Stop swagging.
Exactly. My name is Jolie Mbambu. I am a journalist based in Kasese.
Boss.
Yes, good evening, viewers. I also congratulate Okash. He's a big man now, and you're welcome to the show. I'm Alex Semerelwa, Kasese based journalist.
Oh, he's not yet big. Stop making him feel so sweet.
It's not yet over.
Until March 2021.
Well, that's Jerome. Jerome thinks I should not swag until it is March 2021, but there's a reason to celebrate because I've really had some trust from lots of people. Lots of people have showed me trust. Off we go. The highlights of the NRM elections, primary elections just concluded, Kasese in particular. I think we'll start with Mr. Ali. Tell us about your most interesting highlight of the just concluded primary elections. And two, we want to know what do you think will impact on the general elections? The highlight and what it may impact.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Okash. The other time we were here discussing about the primaries of FDC and what it meant to the impact of that in the general election. Now we are discussing NRM. Yes, NRM had a series of elections right from the parliamentary level. They went now at the lower local councils. But three things, Mr. Okasha. These elections, one, were characterized by the highest level of disorganization. Two, they were characterized by violence and in some places, vote bravery. And so that's why we are seeing very many people are not satisfied with the outcome of the elections. You see, the day President Museveni, they elected that the registers shouldn't be followed. That is when NRM lost it. Because, first of all, their system didn't have a format of tracking who has voted and who has not. Then two, even in some places, some of the results were doctored. People were supposed to win, were lost, and those who were supposed to lose, won.
How do you know those who are supposed to win?
Yes, I think that one is exhibited by the massive petitions that are lying at Plot 10 Kadulu Road at the NRM headquarters in Kampala. Then also, it is also exhibited by the number of people who are saying they are coming up as independents. Now, to answer your question, what is the impact of all this? Now, it means we are going to see very many people coming up as independents because they are frustrated, they are disappointed with how the elections were handled. And what does it mean for NRM? We thought that NRM would be smart this time because FDC, they had problems in their primaries and we saw many people coming up as independents. So now we are seeing NRM now is becoming worse. So my prediction is that NRM may not snatch some of the seats, especially at parliamentary level. I think out of 6, they may get around 2. But if they were smart, he would have
But
scooped
if
all of
it's
them.
around 2, then that's a win for NRM because they didn't have any. And 2, before I let you go, Mr. Ali, you said the chairman's announcement that all people should vote regardless the register. You are condemning it. Though in my opinion, I see as if it saved the election from getting more bloody. Can you imagine this? These registers were already tampered with, so some people were edited out. You get the point. My mother and father are NRM cadres. Sorry to them for announcing it here.
Who tampered with the register?
And at some point they found themselves not in the register.
And
so
why?
some candidates tampered with the register and made them in a way that will fit them. So I want you to take an instance where you go to a polling station, 300 people, and you find there are only 100 who are in the register. Would these 200 let them vote? Ali?
Yes, you see, what has happened, it should be now a lesson to the NRM. Those who manage elections in the NRM. Mr. Okash.
They failed from the beginning.
Yes,
from the issues of
in 2010, Amama Mbabazi, when he was still the General Secretary of NRM, he took top officials of the NRM Electoral Commission and trained them in handling registration and managing registers. So they say when Mbabazi left, you see, you know the circumstances under which Mbabazi left. They say even he went with those registers, he went with them. So the Kasule Lumumba team that came in after Mbabazi had to assemble from the scratch. So I think time has come for NRM to streamline these things. In 2026 possibly, they organize a better stuff.
Johnny, NRM election just concluded. I don't know whether you took part in the elections. You let us know.
I took part as an observer.
As an observer?
Yeah.
Yes, that's quite nice. So tell us your observation about this whole thing.
Well, my observation even before, I remember the last show we had here before elections, we said the results, the outcomes may not, the outcome may not be all that believable, one, and then it would leave some doubts within some other people, and it would also, the kind of elections that were held would also lead to loss of confidence within the participants, within people, voters who are going to vote. Very many issues, but we saw this happen. Some other people didn't go voting for some different reasons. For example, if we look at the number of people that voted during the MPship, they are not actually the people that turned out for the chairperson LUC5 elections, and then the LUC3s. The number was actually, and the municipal, the number was decreasing seriously. And for the case of Kasese, people were actually complaining. Some were saying it's like the NRM Electoral Commission has specific people that they wish took different flags. I mean, took the flag at different levels. So when it came to now going in for further voting, they were like the voters were like, okay.
No wonder they have their people.
Exactly. So I don't know how the NRM office is going to handle that. Then secondly,
there's been an outcry all over Uganda, all over, that the opposition massively participated in this election. In your observation, you said you participated as an observer.
Yes.
How true is that?
The opposition participating in the NRM
election.
Yeah, because you gave them path. What do you expect? And secondly, the fact that these people were somehow, somewhere intimidated at first, and they were being finger pointed at. We know you, don't come for voting. We know you, but those are the people that actually led to violence in some of the areas and some of the polling stations where voting was taking place. So I have to think, actually, I think that the NRM party for the next elections should make sure that issues of the register,
now, in conclusion,
are solved before.
In conclusion, was it right for the party chairperson to let all NRMs vote regardless of appearance in register, or it was wrong?
One, I would say it wasn't something right in as far as the best election and election for all is concerned. If that's why I'm saying the NRM took a very high risk to allow the voting go on before they resolve the issue of the register. That would be the activity.
You want to make me believe it was a panic button because they didn't have enough time.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Shole. Now off we go, Mr. Jerome Kulbitz. I want to know about your highlights in the just concluded primary election. But where I want you to center on is tell us what was the hottest seat in Kasese that could impact whether massively negatively or massively positively in the general election.
Aukash, the district normally has two most important seats. Okay, they might not be very, or they might not be the most important ones, but the people that occupy those positions traverse the entire district, so they have a reach. The constituency is bigger, and these seats are one for the chairman, local council 5, and the district woman member of parliament. That is the reason somehow they actually also become highly contested positions. But in the case of Kasese, the seat that created a lot of panic, that had a lot of people following up, that attracted more numbers, was the woman member of parliament slot. So in regards to your question, that is the seat that did create lots of panic, that had everyone talking. But away from that, let me talk about my observations about the NRM primaries. One, like my colleague did indicate, there was an exhibition of the highest level of disorganization that you can never see in management of politics or management of political parties. Two, the issue of regionalism within the district surfaced quite more clearly in this election, especially in the two positions that I've talked about, the district chairmanship and the woman MPship. Three, there was a clear indicator that the NRM is not about to work towards becoming a political party. The NRM and the people in charge of it want to stick to being intertwined with the state, and as a result, there is no single effort being put in place to help the NRM develop as an institution, to help the NRM grow as a political party. Where do I get these observations? First of all, when it comes to the last point I've talked about, that the NRM is not about working towards becoming a political party, it defeats logic. How does someone not up from his bed, he calls himself a leader of a political party, and then he says any person who holds a national identity card should go and vote during an internal party process? What kind of unseriousness is that? Is that one even a leader of a political party?
Maybe it was a solution.
Where it can't be. It can't be.
Because that many people had complained in advance that all the registers were tampered with.
I am telling you, that can't be.
I am asked who tampered with.
Just a second. Just a second.
Can I answer?
No. I'm the one on the floor.
Okay,
so
let me finish up.
Anyway.
So, there is no way you can be a leader of a political party, because actually, if the registers were tampered with under your watch as the chairman of the political party, it simply all speaks volumes to how you failed to superintend over the managers of the party. This is a lot of unseriousness. Look, if you claim to be a member of the political party, one, you should have the card for that political party, right? I can believe you me, most of the people that voted did not possess, even if they were not in the register, they did not possess political party cards. There should have been some kind of win-win, so that the person could say, okay, if you have been deleted from the register under circumstances unknown to you, at least prove that you are a party member. Perhaps bring one, a card, two, the document, because when you register, normally there is a document that any serious organization gives you to show that you have voted. And somehow, if you are a member to a political party, you should even pay towards the activities of that political party. So show that perhaps you've been paying 1,000, 10,000 or 500 annually to support the activities of the party. But you cannot say everyone should go and
But
vote.
it was conditional, say if the chairperson LOC1 of NRM at NRM level, if he recognizes you and knows, oh, Jerome is a man, they'll let you in.
Now, why do you create avenues for compromise? Who is the chairperson LOC1 for even sake? He needs 20,000 and then he will let everyone go and vote. He will actually even stay at his home.
Oh, sure.
And in many instances, or in very many villages, the chairman movement of the village is also the chairman local council one in government. So that creates some kind of confusion. This is what I'm telling you. The Forum for Democratic Change recently held their internal process. They have collected. Only you would find that an entire constituency, for example, Songora North, has only and only 700 voters, or perhaps 800 voters. These people voted their people or vetted their people, and there was no level of confusion coming from the people who are not
says
party.
electoral colleges are too much into bribery, voter bribery.
And where did we not see voter bribery? Do you know the levels of voter bribery that I witnessed at my level? I saw people going and giving money to people who are standing on the different lines. I saw the election results being manipulated.
Maybe the volunteers, they're giving people
There is a polling station that I went to. There were only 89 voters. The person who was in charge of that vote added a 9 before the 89, and it became 989 votes. The levels of rigging that existed during the internal primary of the NRM.
Now, how does it impact the general election? Before I can go to
this is what means to the general election. First of all, I doubt that the NRM, just like the rest of the political parties in Uganda, has the capacity to resolve internal disputes.
Sure.
Why?
But one thing I want you to agree with me, Jerome, is that not all elections had theft. Not all elections were actually out of order. Some were peaceful, some were honest.
Tell me one influential position that was not where rigging and
Kasese municipality MP.
That's what you're talking about.
It was clean politics. Ferrigo went through cleanly.
You want me to tell you what happened? You see, what do you mean when you have an entire leadership of the party campaigning for a particular candidate against the other? Already that there is a way it paints a picture. That there is a way it manipulates.
Let's go to the impact.
Now, let me tell you on what the entire impact on the district election will be in 2021. We are having, like I did indicate, that there is politics of regionalism. That the current flag bearer of the NRM comes from Songora County, and to be specific, the chairmanship, to be specific, comes LOC5, Songora County North. That I think is not good news for the incumbent in a way. I think because you would even see some level, you could see the amount of votes that even the person was getting within the NRM primary. You would even see some level of manipulation, some level. So you would see that I think the chairmanship of the district is going to be a tight race. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's going to be a tight race, and it is going to give.
So you're bringing more NRM in the picture. Because when you say it creates a panic on the incumbent, which is FDC.
I have not said that. I have not said the panic. I am saying that it's going to give Castle Geoffrey Sivendire a blood run for his money.
Okay, in
Yes.
conclusion, Ali, you had a point before you got to
Let me finish up this point. Let me finish up this point.
1 second.
And for the woman MP said, speaking as an analyst, I think the NRM will have to work a little harder. Yeah.
Why?
You have to work a little harder.
Why?
For personal reasons, which are bordered on professional work that I do for some of the candidates. I think it would be better for me not to engage in the details of that matter. But I think that.
Do you think the race between the primary election and
I have already told you that I have personal relationships in that election. I am somehow a distant player, and it's better that I don't go into the nitty-gritty.
Ali is a political analyst.
But I insist.
Ali, you're a political analyst. Do you agree with Jerome?
No, I insist that the
where do you think you will
have to work a little much more
during these elections?
Yeah.
No hard work, I see. Because almost every political party around is being disorganized. Look at Salomate yesterday when he said, oh no, that one will no longer stand as an FDC candidate even after
going through in primaries.
Who in
particular?
What is that?
Who in particular?
I don't want to mention names here.
No, you don't mention if the party chairperson.
Let me tell you something. I said something even before, that everyone is greedy. People just want to eat. People want to be leaders. Yes, it is okay, but the way they are struggling is actually too hard, that they don't want to give space for this local person to actually decide on his or her own. Like if the political party sat down and thought that we should have a candidate, who are you as just a party president? Anyway, does he have that mandate? It's also a question that is ringing in my mind. I need to read through further FDC issues. So we cannot just assume that the elections will be very easy for FDC.
You think NRM will have a soft rain? Where are you deriving your point? Do you think NRM is working hard to disorganize the opposition parties? Or the opposition parties have not been strong enough?
Every party this time is disorganized on its
internally.
Internally. So the fact that they are disorganized internally, then it is going to be very hard. At this time, I can't tell you NRM will make it or if
don't rule out the role. Don't rule out the role.
I'll give you 1 minute to talk about
political parties.
NUP and the video that is trending on social media after Ali. Mr. Ali, a political analyst. What do you think of the woman MP seats in Kasese in general election, especially both sides? Whether Maryland's victory is overturned or not overturned, what do you think will happen?
Okay, now I think as Mr. Jerome put it, that those two seats, the LC5 and the women, one they first the whole district, so it's a bigger position. Now, two things came up. One, this election, we saw that in Kasese we have the regionalism, Songora and Bukonzo. And then the two, there is also the power of egos. There are two powerful guys here, two powerful politicians, who want, every person is fronting his own camp, and at the end of the day, every person wants to show the other that is very powerful. Now, the impact is that, now it depends on how the NRM handles the post-primary situation. For example, do they have a harmonization committee in place?
Internal dispute resolution mechanism.
Internal dispute, as you are saying, mechanism. Now, if they don't handle it very well, like now, Sarah, her petition is in the office in Kampala. And so if that thing is not handled very well, it means, at the end of the day, NRM will be at the losing side. If Sarah, for example, is declared and results are overturned, the Maryland team must be harmonized. If the status quo remains, the Sarah question must be sorted. Sarah can demobilize her supporters and they vote.
40,000.
Yes, and they are called spoilers. They say let us all lose. And at the end of the day, FDC takes it.
Swahili, unamwaga ugali na mwaga mboga. This is K-Vision TV. My name is Ukash, Media Roundtable, and of course we're live from Cafe Olimako, who provided us this very delicious coffee. Always stand by for your beautiful snacks, the best African tea, juice, ice cream, to mention but a few. Jolly Cakes, I'm proud to be seated next to the CEO of Jolly Cakes, in 5 seconds. In 5 seconds. Jerome and Ali. The trending video on social media about Nkonge Chibalama claiming they had agreements with Chagulan's to give him or to offer $5 million in return. And then all of a sudden he went missing. And the people or his family, on consistently calling his phone, they found out that they claim people who are picking calls are saying they're security operatives, and they are having a little bit of interrogations, and then he will come back. So what do you say about this situation? Strictly 1 minute, we're out of time.
First, I want to tell you that my brother Ali says that Sarah can demobilize her group. It's very true that while they were her supporters, she does not necessarily have control over them. These are people, these are voters with an intellectual quotient, and they take their own decisions, even when they could have been.
They can decide to take their own decision in favor of Sarah.
That's why it's important that whoever holds the flag goes into the mode to make an effort and convince the people into his or her car.
Now
Chibalama, my friend, Uganda's politics is not about to come to an end. It is not about to get done with Katemba. What we are seeing, I don't think is a Chibalama speaking. I think it has a lot of invisible hand in it. Like I did tell you, the problem with Uganda is that we have a lot of fusion between political parties or between a purported political party and the state. So you find that operatives sometimes of the state involve themselves directly in the management of political parties. That you see on TV, those comments you see being aired by Nkonge Chibalama, a little known man, I strongly doubt there are statements coming from him. I want to think that if you talk to him 10 years, I mean 5 days from now, 20 days from now, or perhaps maybe 5 years from now, he will tell us the real story. For now, he's speaking something.
Ali,
he doesn't know what he's saying.
Is the $5 million Chibalama is talking about a realistic statement?
Now,
like as in Bobby Wine, $5 million?
Yes, actually in politics, in order for you to dismantle your opponent, you have to infiltrate him. And as he has already said, we are seeing strange things happening now. The other day, Malamabilis went to court to challenge Bobby Wine's academic credentials. So, as he has said, there could have been an invisible hand. Because of recent, we've been seeing Malamabilis dealing with cases hitting government. But now, it's as if it's now on the side of government hitting Loop. So, we are not surprised that the Chibalama saga right now, the state could be having a hand in it. But also, I think the state, they are up to now still asking themselves, even I think the spy chiefs should have been interrogated by their boss. How come Bobby Wine registered this party? Where were you? Why could you? So by the time they realized the man had already gone to the party,
Did of course the sackings of some members.
He outsmarted them. So I think they have to be
The sacking was over and above the Pete NUP. The sacking was related to, I'm told, the management, the procurement processes involving certain things. Uganda is always about money.
It's been nice having you part of the show. On behalf of the team behind the camera is Jordanic Pro, and of course on my left.
It's his birthday today.
It's his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, our cameraman Jordan. Jordanic. And this one is tomorrow's.
Yeah.
I think we need to share a cake next week for both Jordan.
I just have Jordan's order.
Jordan's order.
Yeah.
I think Jerome's birthday, Jerome's cake, we should eat it here on this round table.
Jerome, by the
No,
way.
it's not me. How do I buy myself cake?
Oh no!
Okay, K-Vision TV will offer Jerome a cake, but on condition we'll have it next Friday on this table.
Right?
Yeah, we'll have Jerome's birthday cake.
Okay.
On my left side, Jerome Coolbeats, the birthday boy tomorrow. The birthday boy today is behind the camera. His name is Jordan.
Yeah.
And of course on my right, the CEO, Jole Glamour Cakes. Then on my extreme right is senior journalist, Mr. Ali, and political analyst. It's been great having you part of this GJK Media Roundtable. Until, of course, next week on the Media Roundtable, though mid of the week we got many shows to come forward. Have a good evening.
Johnny, your show is at 10.